Thank you, Senator Kane. Senator Rounds, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and let me begin by thanking both of you for your service to our country. General Barrier, really appreciate 39 years, and especially to your family. This is a lot of deployments, a lot of time away from home, and it is truly deployments that are handled not just by you, but by your family as well, and we thank you for that. Let me begin with Director Haines. I think Senator Shaheen began a series of questions regarding 702 and asking for an explanation really about how it works and so forth. I'm just curious, with regard to our adversaries, do you think that they believe that there is an opportunity to manipulate or provide misinformation about some of the programs that we have in this country? And has there been evidence that they have tried to manipulate public information or provide misinformation concerning some of our more capable programs?
I'm trying to think of a specific instance. There is.
I prefer not to do a
please.
specific, just not so that because we're in an unclassified discussion, but just in general. Do you think that they believe that they can influence political decisions here by providing misinformation publicly?
Yes, absolutely. They have typically engaged in such activities in order to try to influence public debate on issues that are of importance to them. And so
702 might be one of those as an example.
could be. I don't have particular information that indicates that that's happening, but.
General Barrier, would there be assessments made that our adversaries attempt to manipulate or to influence political decisions with misinformation or propaganda being provided?
I think it's clear that they have participated in that activity and they would take advantage of any opportunity that might present itself. Yes.
Do you think 702 might be one of those programs that they would try to?
Potentially, yes.
Potentially. How about with regard to some of our military capabilities and some of the challenges that we sometimes have? It wouldn't be beneath them to try to manipulate decisions on a public level that would influence our ability to defend our country if we had the opportunity. Fair enough?
I agree with that.
Lately I've been really kind of following up on the issue of the sharing of spectrum with regard to areas, particularly in the 3.1 to 3.45 gigahertz area. This is the S-band. And I'm just kind of curious, we have a number of different very, very important missions that rely on that portion of the S-band. Would that be a fair statement, General Barrier?
It would be, yes.
Are you aware of any of the more capable defensive capabilities that we have that rely specifically on radars, communications in that area?
Generally speaking, yes, but I am not a technical expert.
Okay. Fair to say that the Aegis destroyer systems that we rely on for protecting against air attacks along our coastlines utilize, I think publicly we've talked about it already, about the fact that our radars are in that region?
I think that's fair.
Okay. Not just the East Coast and the West Coast of the United States, but Alaska and Hawaii as well?
Yes.
But we spend a lot of money specifically in that particular area. Our adversaries know that. It's a matter of public discussion. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Right now, there is public discussion about sharing a large amount of that area, or a discussion about trying to share or take from the Department of Defense portions of that spectrum. Would that be an item of interest for our adversaries? And would there be an advantage to our adversaries if for any reason we were to lose that part of the spectrum for defensive purposes?
I think that would be an item of interest for our adversaries, and I could see them potentially trying to take advantage of that discussion.
Director Haines, would you agree with that?
Yes.
Thank you. Let me turn one other area, Africa. I'm just really curious. I know that right now China has been looking at the possibilities of bases in Africa. Along the Atlantic coast of Africa, what would happen if Africa were to be able to, or if China were to be able to establish a base of operations, or for that matter, Russia, along the Atlantic coast of Africa? What would that do in terms of defending our homeland?
Senator, I think permanent bases there would give them more reach and more access. And as I think about strategic competition, it's one of those things that we watch. And it's really DIA's job to keep an eye on that and alert the department if we see that happening.
Do you see it happening?
We do see China trying to make inroads into Africa for sure. And we know that they would like to expand their global bases.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.